and great that you're watching. I'm happy to know that you are interested in learning vocabulary and other language things that you have to memorize with flashcards. Now, what do we want from flashcards? Well, we would like it to be easy to travel with, and we would also like the flashcards to be repeated in the correct moment or with the correct interval, which is called spaced repetition. You can look it up. This is the best to remember for a long-term memory, so that's what you use when you're speaking and you have to think straight away about the words that you might have studied a few months ago. You still want to remember. So spaced repetition is what we want for our flashcard system. The first thing that we need is, of course, some cards. I bought it at just the office supply store. They were called system cards. You can make your own. They just have to be a bit thicker paper, so you cannot look through them, and it's easier also to handle them like that. And what I do is I take 4 cards and color them in 4 different colors. I have yellow, then green, then pink, and then orange. Why is that? Because we make different categories. So words that you know very well, they go with orange, and words that you don't know at all yet, they go with the yellow. So let me just explain to you quickly, or show you quickly. So the yellow one says every day. You have to study it every day. The green one says, you have to relearn these words in 3 days, so at least 2 days without studying, because memorizing things, if you want to do that, it's very important that you give your brain time to also almost forget the information. And if you retrieve it at that moment, is the most effective, so you don't waste your time on ineffective studying. Then there is the card with the 10 days, and the last one is to study the words after not looking at them for 30 days. Okay, so let me just put the camera down so you can actually see what I am doing. So you are in the train, and all you need is your stack of cards and a pencil. Okay? And of course the elastic, otherwise you're gonna lose your cards. Take an extra elastic at any time in your purse in case you lose it between the chairs of the train. So let's say we are in the train, we don't have a lot of space. So here we have our stacks. Just put them like this on the table, or like this. Okay. So just to show you clearly what it is that I'm doing, we'll put them like this. As you can see here, I have written that the last day, I don't know if you can see it actually, the last day of studying was on the 25th of October. If today it is the 4th of November, that means you have not looked at them for 10 days and that you can study it again. But if it's today, let's say the 28th of October, you leave these alone. You don't do anything with them, okay? So whenever it's time to study a part of the list, and for this day, this one is always the time to study it because it's every day, right? So let's say we have to study this one, okay? We take the cards. Here you have the word in your own language, so you can study them actively. That's what you need for speaking and writing. And then you think, what would it be? You check at the back whether your answer is correct. If you have it wrong, it has to go back one deck. If you had it right, you can move it up. If you had it more or less, you just keep it where it was. Okay, and that's how you do all of them. Now you put these cards at the back of the pile. Okay? Which means now that we are going to see these words that we had wrong again, now that we're going to study the daily ones. If you had it right, you move it up. If you had it wrong or almost wrong, you leave them at the same. Of course, here we have only two options. We don't have a lower option. And that's how you go about it. So, that was your study session. Now you just have to do one thing. You have to write down the date of today on the stack you've been studying, the deck. Of course, this one doesn't need to have a date written on it because, well, the last day that you studied it was always yesterday because you study it every day. Now let's say that I have, so this is it, right? You just put it back and there you go. Tomorrow you take this again with you on the train or wherever it is that you study. So let's say we are now on the 4th of November, because that's what I said was the moment that this one needed to be revised. And this one happens to be revised as well, and this one also because that's every day, right? Then I like to start at the back. That's best. So first we're going to test this. If you had it right, you move it to the orange one. If you had it wrong, to the green. If you had it more or less, right? You put them behind the cards. At the back of the stack, the deck is already there. And then you go to the green ones. And then you test them. So you will see the difficult ones from here again. Etc. Okay? And then you put these behind the yellow ones, and it's time to restudy the yellow ones. Okay. Correct, wrong, etc. Okay. Great. Now, we just have to write down today is the 4th of November. Here's also the 4th of November, studied for the last time. For this one, you don't need to write anything yet. Actually, you don't need to write anything. You're gonna take this, and at the end of the day, when you're home, you take out the ones that were behind the orange card, and you put it actually in your tea bag or another tea box or another kind of box where you keep all the orange ones. The orange ones just need to be revised every month. So you can pick a fixed day. Put them at the end, by the way. So you can just pick a fixed day in the month, set an alarm put it in your calendar that you have to restudy these words, and then that's it. If you know the words that are here, you throw them away, right? Because then you have them in your long-term memory. Trust me, that's really where it is. Okay, now you might also be wanting to add some new words. And what do you do with new words? Well, after making them, right here the word in your language and here the one in the new language, and you put them at the end of the yellow stack. So that means tomorrow you will study them again. And that's about it. Of course, you can use this technique also for learning sentences, or it's also recommendable to, if you learn a verb, to learn it together with its preposition and the noun with its article, etc., etc. Or you could even do something similar. I have, for example, here it's a bit bigger, a little heavier to travel with. They're a bit bigger cards, so you can actually put a whole conjugation of a verb, right? And I made the same system with 1 day, 3 days, 10 days, 30 days. But of course, because this was actually for addresses, as you can see, it has like the ABC. So just took A, B, C, and D, and they put the notes with the numbers and the colors on it. But of course, you can also, you know, take your deck with your elastic, and then it's again easy to carry with you. So let me see. There's one thing I wanted to say. Yeah. I always recommend to take a few empty cards with you. So if you have some words that you run into, I don't know, you see an advertisement, or you're trying to talk to your colleagues and you run into a word that you want to remember, you write it here. You can look at the translation at home, for example. So you can put this like even in front of the yellow cards, right? The nice thing of coloring the outside of the card is that you can easily see where the next division of the deck begins, right? So that makes it much easier. Well, I think that's about it. I hope you're going to enjoy this, and it's going to be effective for you. If you have any questions about how to learn with flashcards or card decks, let me know in a comment below. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to learn more about how to learn a language. Good luck and have fun!